Admittingly, 2024 was not the year I thought it would be for me in gaming. It was, however, a big year for me in streaming, as it hit over 1,000 followers on Twitch, had over 100 subs at one point, and celebrated my first 24-hour stream. But in gaming, I didn't play nearly the amount of new release games I wanted to. The beginning of the year was pretty stagnant for new games. Add to that an issue of insufficient funds that continued throughout most of the year. Timing and schedule just didn't lead to the opportunity to play a lot of new games. That being said, I still played 51 games by dipping into my backlog, winning some games through giveaways by other streamers, Xbox Games Pass, and my amazing community gifting me games. So without further ado, I know it's April, and it's taken me a minute to do this. I've just been very busy with working out and many other things. I'm downloading all my highlights, all my VODs from Twitch because they're banning all that stuff. They're like eliminating all of it. You can only have up to 100 hours. Been working on a lot of things. But finally, my top 10 of 2024. Joy in the daytime, night in our eyes, holding the controller, worlds in disguise, pixels in motion, lights flashing by, losing and winning, we still reach the sky. Shocking games, we play all night. Shocking games, neon is in sight. Oh my god. Shocking games, we won't slow down. Shocking games, heroes in town. I'm on my own, against the wall. Precious building, but no, I will never fall.
You're telling me.
Leap into levels, time slips away. Every new challenge keeps us at bay. Exclamation point two. Oh my god. That was a twofer. What the Joy for me, you're all ready. Whoa! Acknowledge me.
We got a boat to catch. Time slips. Oh, I do like to be
whoa. What the f just spawned in? What the f was that? Drop kicked him through it. Let's go. Gotcha. Go. Good, bro? What in the knuckles is this?
Yes! Oh my god!
Yeah.
Shocking games, we play all night.
That's
Shocking games, neon is in sight. Shocking games, we won't slow down. My damn head. Shocking games, heroes in town.
Come on, let's here. Do it now. Oh, you want me to do Stone Cold? You want me to do Stone Cold? Steve Austin? What? Purdue wants me to do an impression? What? He's donating 1 biddy. What? 2 biddies. What? It's alive! It's not alive.
Well, this is going nowhere fast.
Not alive. I thought I was alive.
Give me answers as the dog.
Oh, it's alive!
Whoa.
It's alive! No, you can't. How are you not? You're the one who's on the outside. Oh, the mannequin kept me safe. Fred literally moved behind me just to fucking shoot a sniper rifle into my back. Can't move, can't move! There's tigers everywhere, bruv, oh my god! Yep. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ, where'd you come from? That was what? You're gonna want to see this. Uh-oh. You're gonna want to see this cliche. Don't tell me something's gonna come out of the water. Oh, right off. you. It said, nope, not today. He just turned around and looked right at me.
Leave him here. Spread out and find that bat.
Gotcha.
This time I bring you.
GTA 10 points, mother. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out. Go. I had a feeling. Whoa! How you just gonna spawn in like that? What is that? They literally just appeared. I'm about to die.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Do you see? Now that I'm down here again where I... Oh, f off. I forgot Ultron was down here. Please die, please die, please die. No, no, no. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Run! Run! Why aren't you running? Push! 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 Run! Run! Beetlejuice, snake, looking. I'm so scared right now. You shut up. Oh. Time to fly, yes. Oh my god. The game has like a social media type presence to it. She's a content creator. Apparently she gets picked on because she's overweight. Oh, bruh! Music, Titron, everything. But I mean, even that's the thing. Even back just on like the PlayStation 2. Did anybody else just see that?
Sorry, I just needed a laugh.
What the ever f was that, 2K? Now, a lot of games in this list have switched, have moved. As I've gone through this list, I realized that I appreciated this game more than I appreciated this game. And there's some games on the list that you may go, why is that on the list? It's just my list. It's just how I felt. And when we get to, you know, the honorable mentions, as we always do, you're gonna be like, how come that game didn't make the list? It just didn't hit the way some of these other games hit for me in the moment that I was playing them. So, at number 10, Supernatural. No, not with the Winchesters. Released in 2024, Supernatural is a PC indie psychological horror game made by Hattori Day Productions, and I hope I'm saying that right, and is a follow-up to another psychological indie horror game, Supernormal. My playthrough for both games, Supernormal and Supernatural, are available here on my YouTube channel. You play as Detective Wyatt, who has been tasked with looking into the disappearance of a housemaid. Much like in Supernormal, as Wyatt discovers more about the residents, he realizes there is much more to this story than he was told. The game utilizes your mic to communicate with the spirit haunting the home, but be careful. Too much talking can bring on more than you want. From now on, the microphone will detect every noise you make. You can also start communicating with the paranormal. Miss Crawler, are you... Whoa! You will use the home security cameras to discover new clues and to see where the entity may or may not be. The overall story isn't overly convoluted, and it isn't a very long game. The graphics are decent, remembering this is one person who made this game. Unlike its predecessor and many other first-person psychological horrors, you will have the ability and necessity to fight back during the game, which added a new element to it I wasn't expecting. The map area isn't big, and you will be doing a lot of backtracking to the same areas, but that leads to the jump scares and different things being added to the rooms and the game. While it's not the scariest game I've played, it definitely gave me a few jumps. I love me a good psychological horror game that can actually scare me, so that is what got this game to number 10. 3, All right. I'm unprepared for class, guys. I'm unprepared for class. I don't have a fucking pen. Cxdy equals 3. Whoa! Number 9 is a bit of a two-parter. GTA 4's The Lost and the Damned and The Ballad of Gay Tony DLCs for GTA 4 released way back in 2009. Never played these originally, and I finally got to playing them after I did a replay of GTA 4 on PC. Add on some PC issues, and there was a bit of a gap in between from when I started The Lost and the Damned and from when I actually started playing it. But nonetheless, The Lost and the Damned and The Ballad of Gay Tony were DLCs for GTA 4 back when Rockstar actually made DLCs for story mode. I originally played these through the Rockstar launcher back in 2023, but due to PC issues, I didn't get too far into The Lost and Damned, so I circled back to it in 2024. In The Lost and the Damned, you play as Tony Klebitz, a biker in the biker gang, The Lost MC. And in The Ballad of Gay Tony, you play as Luis Lopez, the bodyguard of Tony Prince. Both these stories are not only intertwined with each other, but also intertwined with the main story of GTA 4. Kind of a different perspective of what is going on while Nico is doing his thing. In true GTA fashion, there is an overall arcing story and various side missions. The story laid out in both DLCs are good stories told with different storylines. The Lost and the Damned being one similar to something you'd see in shows like Sons of Anarchy, with treachery and betrayal from inside the gang while also dealing with rival gangs and trying to prove your worth. The Ballad of Gay Tony being more of a story of a bodyguard dealing with his past and the poor decisions of his boss with the mafia and rival nightclubs. The graphics aren't terrible, remembering I played this on PC for a 2008 game, but the driving, in my opinion, in this game is just terrible. Especially the motorcycle, and when one of the DLCs focuses on being part of a biker gang, that can be a bit problematic. There are times where it feels like you're driving on ice or the bike will hit a curb and fly into the air for absolutely no reason. The stories aren't particularly long, and you could probably finish both in about 15 hours if you focus solely on story. If I had to choose one over the other, I'd say The Lost and the Damned is better story, but Tony Prince is one of the best characters from the DLCs. The controls are simple, same as any other GTA game, but the mechanics are better than the Definitive Edition games still, except the driving. Overall, the two stories are what got these DLCs to number 9.
Make money for me and Enrique now? You know it ain't even like that, bro. Okay, you don't pay for shit in here. Okay, you just can't be looking like you came from selling dope on the corner.
You said that like it's a bad thing.
Tony, what do you think?
Desi wouldn't let me get dressed like that, huh?
See what I mean?
Come to think of it, Lou, what the fuck are you wearing, huh?
What?
Go home and take a bath. Do nothing else. Put on some clothes, huh?
Yeah, I had a complicated day, okay?
All right, so take some time off. The girls in there could use a night off, too.
Didn't even give me time to smoosh with them. Wanted to
Bye-bye, gentlemen.
schmooze with the ladies.
Nice boss you got there. Stuck a fucking fag.
Hey,
come on.
easy. Number 8, Far Cry 3. I'm probably going to piss some people off when I say I feel like this game is overhyped. Up to this point, I had only played Far Cry 5 and Far Cry 6. I enjoyed both games, and maybe it's nostalgia. Maybe if I had played it when it first came out, I would have enjoyed it more. Everyone kept telling me how Far Cry 3 is the best of the series, how Voss is the best villain of the series. So I finally got around to playing it, and I gotta say, it was a little underwhelming. Voss is in the game for all of maybe 10 minutes, and in comparison to Joseph Seed and Anton Castillo, didn't have as much screen time because he wasn't even the main boss. Don't get me wrong, Voss was awesome. Michael Mondo did a great job in the role because he's an amazing actor. The game itself is a good game, graphics are still pretty solid for a 2012 game, but I just feel like it was overhyped. Much like with games from my own past, like GTA Vice City, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, Crazy Taxi. I look back on them fondly because of the memories I have of playing them, but I also realize that I am so fond of these games because I didn't have much else to play at the time. I put many hours into these games because they were kind of the best of what was out at the time. Now we have so many amazing games that a game like Far Cry 3 seems lacking. The main character, Jason Brody, didn't seem to fit the role he was put in. He was a college student, an athlete, and most likely a bit of an extreme sports lover from what I gathered. But in the game, he goes from like Stifler in American Pie to Jason Bourne. Maybe I'm being too harsh. This game is in my top 10 after all, so why is it in my top 10? Well, I enjoyed the overall story. Even if I thought Jason's background didn't fit his son of military-esque abilities, the goal to save his friends, avenge his brother, and get back to the simple life he had before is understandable. There is also an option to stay on the island and be the leader of the rebel group, the Rakiat tribe, who helped Jason along with his task and even don him with Tattoo that enhances his abilities. There is an intriguing story told throughout the game and kept me interested. It's not a long game, and not a long story if you focus solely on the story quests. It is an open world game with a lot to do. There are all kinds of side quests, hunting, racing, enemy soldiers to fight, and so many predators. So many tigers, like everywhere. Which, to a point, got to be a little frustrating. You had to travel by vehicle in order to get anywhere without being attacked by a tiger or something. The mechanics of the game are, of course, similar to that of 5 and 6, or any other similar game like GTA. Not complicated, easy to maneuver. I don't know if it makes any difference, but I did play the classic edition on the PS5. I don't know if that is like a remastered version or whatever, but overall, my feelings of it being overhyped aside, I enjoyed the game and I enjoyed the story, the villains, the characters, the gameplay, and while it isn't my favorite Far Cry, I think 5 still holds that. It did make it to the number 8 spot on my list. Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays. This is only my second stream so far of this.
I ask you a question. Who gave you that ink? Teacher gave you that ink? My sister gave you that ink? Huh? You think that makes you one of us? You think that makes you like me? Huh? California boy's got a hard on.
You ain't got no fucking ink, bruv. Where's your ink? Let me see your ink, bruv.
A bullet through my sister's skull. Like I did your brother Grant.
Fuck you.
You are angry, Jason.
Yeah, you killed my brother.
You are angry. Okay, I get that.
And your mohawk doesn't go all the way. You look
We're
stupid.
not family, who the fuck are we? There was a time where I'd do anything for my sister. You know, first time I ever killed was for my sister. It was not enough for her. No, please. You see, the thing about our loved ones, right?
He
Our
talks very
fucking
fast.
loved ones. They come and they blindside you every fucking time. So they say to me, they say, Voss, who the fuck is it going to be? Them or me? Me or them? like, you know, like they fucking think that I need to make a fucking choice. By the way, this lighter really sucks. You know, so much for poetics. It's really too bad that Citra had to ink you up. Because now the only way to kill you is to erase you completely. Shh. It's okay. Don't cry. It's okay. Jason, I swear to God, man, it's truly beautiful that you're willing to die for the one you love.
Jason Derulo! How is that gonna... Well, you survived. What about her?
Shit!
Number 7. The Hellblade series, Senua's Sacrifice and Senua's Saga. I'm going to include both games in this spot as I played both of them on PC for the first time last year. Senua's Sacrifice was released in 2017, and the follow-up, Senua's Saga, was released in 2024. In the series, you play as Senua, who suffers from schizophrenia and recently lost the love of her life, resulting in her disorder to be full strength as she deals with grief, guilt, and her vow for vengeance. Senua hears many voices in her head and sees hallucinations, and this plays into one of the best features of the game, the sound effects and the visuals of the game. The game is definitely best played with headphones on or maybe a good surround sound system. The combat is fairly easy and not really a main focus of a majority of the game. There are puzzles to solve, and as you go, you will unravel Senua's history as well as Norse history. Senua is a picked warrior, and the game has heavy Norse and Celtic influence. The first game, Senua's Sacrifice, is in my opinion the stronger of the two games, as it dived more into Senua's history, story, and overall story arc. The second one seems more about Senua coming to terms with her loss, but also accepting new people into her life and realizing she's not alone anymore. Overall, both games depict a story of a strong woman overcoming her battles, both outer and inner. They're not particularly long games, but tell an intriguing story. The graphics are also pretty well done, and the pace of the game allows it to be beautiful and render appropriately. It's not an open world game and very linear, which doesn't take anything away from it. I had never heard of the game, but one of the Discords I am part of, the Cool Kids Table, shout out to the Cool Kids Table, started a Not a Book Club where we all play a certain game for the month and discourse about it in the Discord. Overall, the story, the sound design, and the graphics got this game to number 7. You can sleep when you're dead.
Kill me. I'm not one of them. I was just hiding. I find I live longer that way. I'll never let the bastards catch me again. Never! Wait.
If you're sleeping, you're not making money.
Who are you?
It's just a memory. Truth? Is that you?
For my tales of the Northmen, they call me Druth. A liar.
I actually do make money when I sleep well. Aren't you special, Devro? Must be doing those I'm only sleeping streams with the camera on you, like they do on TikTok,
See you again.
or you
You kept your vow.
have sound alerts to try to wake you up.
This life and the next.
Imagine a world where money's just given to you. Well,
I may walk with you.
who wants to walk with Elias?
Tell me your stories again, old friend. I'm listening.
The runes.
Good dream, Canine.
the gates.
Well, I mean, there are
Focus your inner thought.
situations where you are just given money.
You too will see what's hidden in plain sight.
Man, my stick drift on this game is going to be brutal.
She needs to focus now.
I can see one.
Hold it in your mind.
No?
It's near. Focus.
Fuckus.
Look
Thank you, Wolverine.
towards the gate. And the gate will open.
Number 6, Poppy Playtime Chapter 3. Playthrough available in chapters here on my YouTube channel. Released on PC in 2024, in Chapter 3, we continue our descent into Playtime Co. with the help of Poppy and our new friend, Ollie. We have to take out the new antagonist, Catnap. Chapter 3 is filled with all kinds of puzzles and features the first time we have to really deal with 2 bosses with the introduction of Miss Delight. Chapter 3 continues to flesh out the story behind what happened at Playtime Co., revealing more dark secrets that the shady company kept hidden. Catnap was used to put children to sleep, but after the children began having hallucinations and nightmares, the toy was recalled. The Catnap we experience is one of the prototype's chosen defenders and loyal servant. Catnap now guards the area playcare, which was once used as an orphanage for the children, who have now all disappeared. At least those not turned into the very monsters we run from. There is a dark story unraveled in Chapter 3 and the history of Catnap. We learn more about the Hour of Joy, the prototype, and new characters like Miss Delight, a former teacher who guards over the school and is very, very hungry. I admittedly felt very frustrated with this chapter. Miss Delight was a bit of a pain, as she was like a weeping angel you had to keep your eyes on at all times while trying to open gates, move batteries, and make your way to survival, but she could also move in the dark when the lights would go out, so... As bad as Miss Delight was, Catnap was a whole other form of frustration. You really need to be quick with the keyboard and mouse in your thinking as you fight off Catnap. I wasn't super comfortable with using keyboard and mouse, and I still prefer a controller, but I have got better, I feel like, since I played Chapter 3. The final boss was still frustrating as hell. I feel like they almost overcomplicated it. This was also the first chapter where we really actually had to fight back, kind of. The first 2 chapters, we basically just ran away, but in this one, like I said, we actually had to fight back, use things to fend off enemies, and hit certain things to cause other things to happen. it was a form of fighting back. Overall, I enjoyed the game, and I really enjoy the story that is being told throughout the chapters. I hope to one day be able to see everything that happened during the Hour of Joy in a cutscene or something. I've already played Chapter 4, and I'll save that review for next year's Top 10, but the story got this game to number 6. This. Please let me fucking have this. Please just let me have this. Fuck you. Yes! Right in hell, you fucker. That's a prototype? Prototype gonna help him? And you're dead. Yep. Oh, thank God. Oh my God. Okay, now what? Halfway through our list, and we get to one of the, I think, highly anticipated games of 2024. Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Released in 2024, I played this on PC. Even though it said my PC wasn't good enough to play it, I played it just fine, it seems, without losing resolution or frames. This was the first COD game I have played since World War II, and the first time I actually played the campaign. Seeing that it took place in the 90s and involved the Gulf War, I felt compelled to play the campaign for this game, since I grew up in the 90s. But after playing it, the Gulf War, while it did play into the story, it was a bit of a minor part and could have been any war really. The time setting in the 90s also seemed like an afterthought after a while. There was music playing and of course political figures talked about, never seen, but once you really dive into the story, this could have been set in modern times or the 2000s or any era. It was just a minor part of the plot. I love the different style of game elements they featured through the story with open world areas, linear events, and even a horror element that I did not expect. The story was very interesting and felt like something you'd see in a spy espionage film. The controls are simple, the mechanics are great, and the overall gameplay is not overcomplicated. Sometimes simple is better. I played this during my 24-hour celebration and it helped me get through my last 12 hours. The story itself probably only takes about 10 hours, but I spent a lot of time exploring the desert in Iraq, also taking various breaks to stretch my legs and get some food. I stopped playing for the last 2 hours of my stream because I didn't want to jump into the final mission, which might have taken me a few hours. I was ready to end it at that 24-hour mark. I've never been a big fan of the Call of Duty games and only ever got them to play multiplayer with friends, but this game has got me interested in possibly going back and playing other campaigns. It was a fun game, simple, featured various elements and told a good story, all of what got it to number 5. Yo, this just turned into a horror game, bro. What the f? I don't trust him. Footsteps. Hello? I thought I was playing Call of Duty, not like psychological horror. Though I'm ready to slice some shit up if I need to.
Please see security for access.
I didn't. Is this what? This is zombies. What? I don't remember signing up for zombies. At number 4 comes in a game I wanted to play in 2023, but just wasn't able to. At number 4, Dead Island 2. Released in 2023, Dead Island 2 was on my list to play. I just wasn't sure I wanted to drop the money on it. Luckily, eventually, it was added to Game Pass and I was able to play it on PC without any extra spending. In Dead Island 2, you play as one of 6 playable characters, each featuring their own skill set. The overall story is the same regardless of what character you choose, but one character may have a skill set that suits your playstyle over the others. It takes place in a post-apocalyptic Los Angeles set in the same universe as the first game, which I never played. The overall story isn't complex or layered, it's fairly simple. The mechanics are good and it plays pretty smoothly mostly. Controls are basic, so why do I have it ranked so high? Well, the overall gameplay is just fun and addictive. Many times I found myself just wanting to go out and bash zombies with a bat or some Wolverine-esque blades. The game is filled with side quests and things to find that can extend the game for those wanting to spend more time bashing zombies. It is mostly open world, featuring 10 open world zones or maps that you will fast travel between. Each area is massive and filled with a lot of zombies. The variety of zombies was a little lacking in both model and variety. I found myself fighting the exact same model of zombie at the movie studio as I did in Bel Air. Clothing, design, everything, a little more variety would have been better. Same with the weapons. You find all these weapons, upgrade them, then find the same weapon at a higher level, so you drop the one you spent resources on to upgrade to get the higher level weapon, just to upgrade that and then find an even higher one than that. Some weapons do come with upgrades already attached to them, but I found myself not wanting to upgrade certain weapons because I knew I was going to find something better down the line. I felt like it took too long to get to the guns. But if they gave us guns too soon, it may have taken away the enjoyment of bashing a zombie's head in with a sledgehammer. The graphics are pretty good, not super realistic, but look amazing. Not everything has to look realistic. I'm honestly getting so sick of hearing that a video game is not realistic, especially a video game about something like zombies or Mortal Kombat or some other fictional story. These are fictional characters.
Fictional characters. Am I getting through to you at all?
It does not have to be realistic. I do not want gas in my vehicle in GTA 6. Overall, like I said, the story is simple and the settings vary. The zombies don't. The weapons don't. It handles great and it's just fun to play, which got it to number 4.
Keep away from me, you slimy mother... That's it! You and me, right now!
He can block. Block this. And this. I guess I gotta block him. You better run, you coward!
Mierda, you're healing? That's some
Aw,
sneaky
he's healing? Aw, damn it. Alright, hold on, let me see. Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No healing. Clown down. You're mine, clown. You're mine, clown. Gotcha.
Told you you'd regret it. Funny.
Number 3, The Mortuary Assistant, released in 2022. Mortuary Assistant has been on my list to play for some time, and I finally pulled that trigger and played it on PC in 2024. My first playthrough available here on my YouTube channel. The Mortuary Assistant takes place in the late 90s, and you play as Rebecca Owens. Rebecca is given a job as an assistant at a mortuary for her old teacher. Rebecca has a bit of a troubled past, and it all comes back to haunt her as the demons that haunt the mortuary play mind tricks. The only way to survive the night and not get possessed is to find the body that holds the demon, find the correct symbols, place the symbols on the right body to bind the demon, then burn the body, all while doing your normal embalming tasks. It's not a particularly long game, and there are 7 endings overall, which come from the outcome of what you do during your night shift. However, with all the horror games I've played, this game definitely has the most scares to time played. So many scares and sounds and overall eerie feelings in about an hour. The game definitely has replayability, even though each night is about the same. Different bodies, some of the same scares, but as I said, there are 7 different endings. I only have 3 of them so far. The game updates for different holidays or occurrences and features bodies for Santa Claus, clowns, and other things. The story isn't super deep, the mechanics are basic, the process of the embalming seems pretty legit, the tasks are repetitive, but just how scary this game is, and it does feature a scare meter, so you can adjust it accordingly, and I did have it all the way up at one point. I think it just made me get possessed faster. It didn't really make it any scarier, but on your first playthrough, it could definitely be unsettling and unnerving, and that's what got it to number 3. I love a good, scary horror game. Christ. The fuck is that? Yeah, they do that. Does that mean he's a demon? Will I find any of this outside for these things? Or will they just all be in the office here? What the f was that? Number 2, WWE 2K23, released in 2023. I wasn't sure if I was going to play 2K23 or not. I enjoyed 2K22, but didn't really want to drop $70 on a new WWE game. Flash forward to the announcement of 2K24. Steam puts 2K23 on sale for about $20, so I figured it was a steal and snagged it on PC. There are a lot of features in WWE 2K23, but I'm just going to focus on the My Rise feature as that is what I spent a majority of my time playing. The overall story of both My Rise playthroughs is good. In the male My Rise, you play as an indie darling of sorts who is brought in to be the next big thing. In true WWE fashion, you have a name change and a wardrobe change, which after spending hours making a character was kind of a what the f moment.
I don't even know if that's PG.
Eventually, you do get to look the way you want. It's kind of a paying your dues moment in the game. One of these days, I hope WWE features a My Rise playthrough that allows your character to already have a built-in lineage in the story of My Rise. From 2K22 to 2K23, even 2K24, I play as the same character. In fact, going way back to 2K13, I've always been the same character. It's me. But it's a different story each time, more so the different background. It's like each time you're an up-and-comer underdog from the indies or a different company or something. I would love it if they made a story where we had a history in the WWE and are making our return after time off or a life-altering injury. Anyway, in the male My Rise, I worked my way through the company, becoming a multi-time champion, but then I had to deal with the pushback from the company when I didn't want to play ball. I ended up traveling the world as the unofficial champion, and it led to a pretty interesting story. The women's My Rise, you are a second-generation talent with your aunt being a former WWE diva who wrestled the likes of Lita and Trish, and you have the choice to either follow in her footsteps or make your own path. I, of course, chose to make my own path, and this too leads to a pretty interesting story. Going to NXT and showcasing your skills against some of the NXT women and even headlining WrestleMania. It's definitely a fairly unique story in the women's division and worth a playthrough. The mechanics of the game are mostly good. It's a shame that it's 2025, 2024 at the time of playing it, and these games still have massive clipping issues. I know the developers can't prepare for everything, especially when it comes to the created characters and such, but even with the models they put in the game, there is still clipping during cutscenes and entrances that shouldn't be. It's one thing if it's during the actual gameplay of it all, but cutscenes in a AAA game like this should be flawless. Another thing was the mouth movements, or the movements of the model to the words being spoken. Sometimes it was like watching a Muppet talk or an English dub of a Kung Fu movie. Again, something that should be pretty flawless in cutscenes. I don't understand how some of these wrestlers can go out to the ring or stand on camera and deliver an emotional speech, an emotional promo, whichever, whether it's an emotion of sadness, ecstatic, or angry, but then in the game they just come across as reading the script sometimes and it doesn't translate to the emotion they normally show in real life. Even the commentators, or people like Sami Zayn, they get on the mic and they're so passionate and they have so much emotion in their voice when they speak, but in the game, it's like toned down and softly spoken. The controls operate like many other WWE games, it was some changes here and there, but nothing too difficult or different. The graphics, mouth movements and clipping aside, are pretty good. Customization is great, though I would like the ability to do some kind of hair designs or dye without having to use their little drawing thing. I do feel like since 2K22, the games have begun to resort to using the same mechanics for each game or taking shortcuts and thus hindering the overall product, which is what led to them taking time off in 2021 to focus on 2K22 to deliver a good overall game. I have played 2K24 and we'll talk about that next year. Overall, the story of the two My Rise playthroughs and the overall feel of the game got it to number 2. So whenever you're ready to drop him. Here we go again. Come on. Come on. There it is. Pin him. Pin him. Let's go. Go. Let's go, baby. Let's go! Let's go!
Not to interrupt the victory celebration, but Shawn Michaels is back. Maybe to do that.
No, you can't. You can't do that. You can't do that.
The man is due for once.
That's right. Give me that belt. Give me that belt.
Looks to be a small sign of respect from Michaels to the new champ. Maybe they can finally put all this behind them and move on. Much of the criticism he faced earlier in his career centered around his inability to.
Here we go, baby. Let's go.
It's fitting that tonight it came down to just him and Orton in the ring, one-on-one. No one else to rely on but himself.
And no, Sami Zayn, no, no fucking way, no. As we do every time before we get to number 1, let's talk about the other games I played quickly, because there's a lot of them. In no particular order, Resident Evil 5, my second playthrough of the game, but first time actually beating it. The game is fine, decent enough story, but the AI is terrible. Shovel was constantly in my way in the tight spaces, leading me to get killed or shooting me in the back, which didn't hurt me, but just wasted ammo. I would definitely recommend playing with a friend if possible. Super Normal. While Supernatural was a good game, Super Normal wasn't terrible and did give me a really good jump scare, but that's about all it has to offer. The story is okay, but it just wasn't that scary, and you spend more time walking around looking for things than you do being scared. Paranormal VHS is a good first-person psychological horror game with some decent scares. I just feel like it was longer than it needed to be. Is Simon There? Another good but short first-person psychological horror game with not that many jump scares. It's more about the tension buildup. Mario Wonder. Probably would have made it on the list, but I feel sometimes the Mario games are the same game just with new boards and new mechanics, which can be said for WWE games and COD games, and I did play this with my kids and very well could have made it into the top 10, but again, it just feels like the same game I've been playing since the Wii. It was up for Game of the Year in 2023, so what do I know? Reveal, I think is how you pronounce it. This game had a lot of us horror fans excited, but let many of us down. It was essentially a walking sim with little to no scares in it. Life After Death, another decent first-person psychological horror game. I just feel like a lot of these games are becoming the same. You're in a house, there's something haunted there, figure out the story in-game. Some do it better than others. Still a good horror game though. Still Wakes the Deep, another disappointing, quote-unquote, horror game. Not a lot of scary moments in the game. It's more about the tension of everything collapsing around you. You do see the monster a few times, but it's nothing particularly scary or frightening, in my opinion. Celeste, another game I played through the Cool Kids table, not a book club. Fun platformer game, good story, just not my kind of game. I did enjoy playing it though. Teleforum, I got for free on Steam, and it is a point-and-click investigative style horror game. I feel like there could have been more to it, but there wasn't. It was a decent story though. Bramble the Mountain King, awesome looking game, fun, but I feel like I'm just missing something when it comes to games like this or Little Nightmares even. House Flipper, I won this through the Two Frothy Beards, so big shout out to them. I had fun playing this, didn't even realize I played for a few hours. It's addictive and time goes fast. Might play this more if I ever don't have anything to play. Tell Me Why, another game from CKT, not a book club. Great story, a walking sim though, but your choices affect how the game plays out. Kind of like an Until Dawn style game, but not as complex, I guess, and not horror also. The Cursed Tapes, it's an okay first-person psychological horror game. The scares just weren't there. It tries, but they just didn't hit for me. It's fairly linear and puzzles are good, but overall, it didn't quench my horror thirst. Kiki's Twisted Bakery, another game I got for free off Steam. It's an okay game. You have to make pies to throw out the enemies that are hunting you. I just don't really like horror games where you have to constantly hide. At least games like Outlast have a story and are scary. This one, you're just running around finding ingredients to make a pie to throw at the thing hunting you, and it takes many, many pies, and if you die, you got to start all over. So it was just, again, it's just not something that I want to really waste too much time on. Ori and the Blind Forest, another game I played through CKT. Fun platformer, good story, good graphics, just not my style of games. Ignited Entry, not a particularly scary horror game. Decent story, features one of my personal favorite streamers in it as a voice actor. Not my preferred choice of graphics for a horror game, but it's an indie horror game, and they come in all different styles. Bad Parenting, same kind of graphic design as Ignited Entry, but a lot shorter and a bit of a darker story. Silent Still had potential to be a good psychological horror game, but the scares only come when you're in bed, making them predictable. Inside the Labs, always fun game to play with friends like Goddammit J, Cosmic Cat, and Old Man Graham, shout out to them. Alien Isolation, a good game and good story that ties in with the Alien franchise, but again, having to hide constantly from the Xenomorph was a real pain in the ass. That thing was camping half the time. Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. The Batman games walked so the Spider-Man games could swing. Always a personal favorite of mine, and I figured I'd replay them. I even started City on hard difficulty, something I never do, and I need to finish it. Amnesia the Bunker. Much like Alien Isolation, good game, but hated having to hide from the creature so much. It said it hates the lights, so you turn the power on, only for the creature to be able to EMP the lights or whatever. Halloween Fan Remake, playthrough available here on my YouTube channel. It wasn't anything flashy, short, not scary. Little Nightmares 2. Good game, good story, good puzzles and character designs, but as I mentioned before, there's just something about these games that I miss. Garden of Banban, my first step into this series of the Banban games. Easy enough, not particularly scary. Demonologist, gifted to me by a viewer and fellow streamer, I'm just saying, so I can play with her, Cosmic, and Old Man Graham. Fun game in the lines of Phasmophobia, maybe a little scarier. Definitely a game that I enjoy playing with friends versus just playing, with randoms or whatever. Dead Space Remake, basically the same game as the original with the new graphics and a darker tone. Still a good game and a good horror game. Mario Party Superstars, another game I played with my kids. Fun game, but I feel like the boards are smaller than they were on the Mario Party games on the N64 and a lot easier to get stars. Fun game to play with family or friends. Ghost Janitors, another game I was gifted by, I'm just saying, to play with her, Cosmic, and Old Man Graham. Not as complex as Demonologist or Inside the Labs or Phasmophobia. Basically, get in, do your task, avoid the ghosts, and get out. Easy, but fun to play with friends. Gaggle. Gaggle is something I was fortunate enough to be able to play. It is a chat interactive game where you can play along with game shows like Family Feud, Price is Right, Taskmaster, Press Your Luck, and a few others. As the game goes on, you and your chat can guess the answers or guess on how things will play out. There's only so many episodes to play, so it limits how much or how long you can play it. But they are going to be adding more games soon. Old Man Graham guessed 450, so I'm going to guess 451, Bob. Dude, I swear to God, if I was ever on this and somebody guessed $1 more than me and they won, They're getting tackled. They're getting tackled live on, or not live on TV, but you know. They're going to be right up there with Drew Carey and just boom. Hey, that's all you're going to hear. Graham.
Valerie.
$379.
$379. And Linda.
$380.
$380. All right. We have 4 bids here, and the actual retail.
Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that? Watch her face when Linda guesses. A straight up death stare. Look. Oh my god. That's me. That's me. Oh my god, that's the perfect reaction to somebody outbidding you by $1. The Dark Gift, decent enough first-person psychological horror game. Not a lot of jump scares, but has a spooky feel. Same goes for The Gift Collector, Christmas Nightmare, Lonely Christmas, and Evil Holiday. I played these all around the same time, and they all kind of had the same feel and the same vibe to them. Most of them were made by the same person, so that makes sense. I also finally played Sons of the Forest, mostly off stream with Old Man Graham and The Way of the Cosmic Cat. Originally gifted to me by Little Miss PG. Fun game, interesting story. It's just very tedious at times. So when it comes to building a base, needing armor and weapons, and having to explore and survive while trying to find said armor and weapons, as well as resources and supplies needed to advance the game. And of course, we played GT Online with bottom dollar bounties and agents to sabotage DLCs. GT Online is definitely in its dying days, and they're just kind of putting out whatever content they can, whatever content they feel they have left. There's definitely some stuff we should have had since day one, like pizza deliveries. We should have had that long time ago. Taxi, cab fares or whatever the heck they call it. Vigilante missions, doing stuff in police cars and all that stuff. Stuff we should have had a long time ago. We're finally getting now as GTA Online is in its last year or so. Marbles on Stream and Wild River Run, which are both chat interactive racing games where we jam out, dance, sing, and work out. Fun times are had, and we wish you would come over and play along with us over on Twitch. So, finally time for the #1 game that I played in 2024. And it's not a game that came out in 2024. It's not a game that I've even finished just yet. #1 is Fallout 4. After playing Starfield, I was a little reluctant to play another Bethesda game. But after watching the Fallout TV show and seeing some other people play the game, I figured why not. I have it. It's been sitting there. I've had it for forever. I got it for free a long time ago. And a buddy of mine is actually a really big fan of Fallout 4 and has wanted me to play the game for some time. At first, I was a little lost and frustrated with the game. I was out exploring and entering areas I wasn't leveled up to be in or didn't have powerful enough weapons and armor to deal with. But once I focused on the story and worked my way through the game, I really began to love it. Released in 2015, Fallout 4 takes place in the future in 2287. However, everything is like something out of the 1970s. Your character was set in a time capsule and frozen to be saved from the nuclear holocaust in 2077. You wake up 210 years later when your wife is killed and your son is stolen. This sets us on a path for answers, to find our son, and for revenge. You meet a lot of interesting characters along the way that will either help you or try to kill you. From humans to mutants to androids, full-out robots, and even zombies. The graphics are decent and are kind of in line with GTA 4, maybe even early GTA 5 at the time. The overall mechanics of the game are good, though there are some glitches and bugs, which is in every game. Controls are easy, your basic game controls. The story is phenomenal and you can choose a lot in the game. You can be nice or be mean. You can charm pretty much anyone or anything in the game if you make the right choices. At one point in the game, you will have to choose where your allegiances will lie, and that is where I left the game because I couldn't choose just yet and I moved on to some other games. I need to go and finish the story, maybe play out each faction's ending. The music in the game is amazing, and I gotta tell you, I can't help but sing every time End of the World by Skeeter Davis, Arthur Kent, and Sylvia D comes on the radio. It's such a beautiful song and beautiful voice. Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed the story told so far. I enjoyed the exploration and the massive map once I could go and explore. The side quests are fun, and the weapons are pretty cool. The music is amazing. I had a really fun time playing it, and I need to finish this game. But even not having finished it, All of those things got it to number 1. So while I didn't play some of the newer games I wanted to yet, I still played a variety of fun games in different categories and different genres, and I have some heavy hitters lined up for 2025. I have already played games like Indiana Jones and the Great Circle and WW2K24. I have started Silent Hill 2 Remake, and I am currently playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. On the list of games to play, I have Black Myth Wukong, the Phantom Liberty DLC for Cyberpunk, and the Chaos Reigns DLC for Mortal Kombat 1. We're also going to be playing The Witcher 3 at some point this year, and of course, GTA 6 is still slated to release this year. We'll see. And when that drops, it will consume me for quite some time. So what did you think of my top 10? Do you think one of the other games I played should have been in the top 10 instead? What was your top 10 of 2024? Let me know down in the comments. And if you liked this video, you made it this far, you must have, drop it a like. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Don't forget to head over to my Twitch channel where you can see me play games live, chat and interact with me, and even play along with some games. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.